I thought my new coworker was trying to help me until I discovered why he knew so much about my life. On my third day at the company, he walked past my desk and said, "You should probably take a different route home tonight." I laughed and asked, "Why?" He just smiled and said, "Traffic." I thought it was strange, but I ignored it. The next morning, he brought me coffee exactly how I liked it. Then he asked about my mother's surgery, even though I'd never mentioned it at work. I stared at him and said, "How do you know about that?" He shrugged and replied, "You mentioned it once." I knew I hadn't. Over the next few weeks, it got worse. He knew my gym, my favorite restaurant, the name of my landlord, and even the day I usually worked from home. Every time I asked how he knew, he'd give me some excuse. Then one afternoon, he stopped me before I entered the elevator and whispered, "Don't take it." I asked, "Why?" He looked terrified and said, "Just trust me." I ignored him and took the stairs instead. 5 minutes later, I heard that the elevator had malfunctioned between floors. That's when I started wondering if he wasn't spying on me. Maybe he was protecting me. I confronted him after work. "Who are you?" He finally looked at me and said, "I'm not your coworker." He pulled out a folder containing dozens of photographs of me, my apartment, my car, and places I visited every week. My heart dropped. Then he showed me one photo taken outside my house. There was a man standing across the street. "That's the person I've been watching," he said. "He's been following you for 3 months." I asked, "Then why didn't you tell me?" He answered, "Because he works here too." The next morning, security searched an employee's locker and found copies of my house key, photos of my daily routine, and a notebook tracking everywhere I went. The coworker I'd been suspicious of had actually been working undercover with the company's security team after noticing the pattern. He knew everything about my life because he'd been trying to keep me alive without letting the person following me know he was watching back. Before he left, I asked him one final question. "Why did you risk your job for me?" He smiled and said, "Because the first thing I noticed wasn't that someone was following you, it was that nobody else was looking."